first person on top of the pyramid is Maddie. And the second person on top of the pyramid is also Maddie.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
If you're a Dance Moms fan, you've probably noticed the obvious star of the studio, fiery youngster Maddie Ziegler. This wasn't without some help. We've broken down 10 real reasons why Maddie Ziegler was Abby's favorite on Dance Moms. Number 10, Maddie Ziegler had an in with Abby Lee Miller. Abby Lee Miller clearly has a special place in her heart for Maddie Ziegler. It's pretty obvious considering how many more opportunities she gives her to shine in the studio.
This week, my eyes are going to be on Maddie. It's going to be her that gets the correction or her that gets reprimanded.
Zeigler received more solos and was constantly put on top of her pyramid ranking system. The favoritism didn't go unnoticed by other dance moms, which is where most of the reality drama comes into play. And beyond the moms, the dancers themselves struggle with Maddie's extra attention as well as hordes of fans. But Maddie's relationship goes well beyond the show. Miller had known Zeigler and her family for some time before the acclaimed child dancer joined the Abby Lee Dance Company. In fact, in one Lifetime Q&A session, Miller revealed that she went to high school with Ziegler's father, and Zeigler had actually been dancing at her studio since she was only 4 years old. She's quoted as saying, "When it was time to put both of his daughters into dance class, he brought them to me," Miller shared. Obviously, it makes sense that Miller would favor Zeigler, considering that they were basically family friends. Number 9, Ziegler's mom worked at Abby's studio. Being family friends was just the beginning of Maddie's road to winning over Miller's heart. During the first few seasons of the show, it's clear that Maddie's mother was nurturing the relationship with Miller and helping pave the way for her daughter to have a successful dancing career. She did this by working at the front desk of the ALDC. Ziegler's mom, Melissa, worked the desk and said that she's doing it to cover the cost of her daughter's rapidly growing dance-related expenses.
Once again, I counted on Maddie, and she won.
But this additional work also meant that Maddie Ziegler could hang around the studio more and steal one-on-one time with her instructor more frequently than some of the other dancers. Not only that, but Christy Lukajiak pointed out during Season 1's 4th episode, Melissa's in charge of the music because of her job at the ALDC. The family-friend connection as well as Melissa's position at the front desk helped solidify Maddie's position at the dance studio. And while it might be easy to chalk all of her success up to nepotism, it's easy to see that Miller saw something special in Zeigler, and she had found her future star.
Maddie, this is your year. This is your moment to shine. You're gonna win everything.
Number 8, she's known to be a fast learner. Besides family connections, such as her mother having worked the front desk at the studio or her father's long friendship with Abby Lee Miller, Maddie Ziegler demonstrated some dancing traits that helped catch Miller's attention. She became a favorite on Dance Moms by showing how fast she could learn, and that was right from the beginning. She could obviously pick things up quickly. That being said, just about all the girls who were part of the ALDC studio learned quickly. Just by nature of being part of such a competitive environment, they would often have to learn a routine in a single week before going on stage to compete with it. And they are all very young, yet they almost always manage to win first place. Zeigler still managed to stand out in her speed and perfection when learning new routines.
This is not going to be another year of Maddie working her butt off and you all sitting around.
She showed time and again that she could handle the pressure. For instance, she was able to learn an entire routine with the Radio City Rockettes in just 1 hour, as Teen Vogue documented in a YouTube video. It's pretty obvious her memory is something special. Vulture also reported that she learned all of the choreography for the Chandelier music video in just 2 hours. Pretty impressive for such a young girl and considering how high the stakes of all those situations were. But it's not just how fast she can learn the routines. Number 7, Maddie Ziegler is extremely talented. Maddie Ziegler often stole the Dance Moms show with her solo performances. She'd perform a number of solos with lyrical routines that are pretty breathtaking.
They worked a little bit harder. Maddie worked a whole lot harder.
Of course, many of the other moms and even fans took Abby Lee Miller to task for giving Zeigler better choreography. Or at least that's how they felt. Miller has consistently refuted those claims and even spoke about it in an interview with Lifetime. She insisted that it wasn't that the choreography was any better, it was that Zeigler was better. She was able to do much more with her routines because of how talented she is as a dancer. Miller is quoted as saying, "It's what they make the choreography look like when they step on the stage," Miller shared, calling Ziegler and her young sister Mackenzie great, hardworking kids.
I want to celebrate Maddie. Maddie was my big winner at Nationals, and she's the kid that really wants to do this. She's the only girl on this team that I know I won't be replacing.
It's pretty clear that Miller had her eyes on Ziegler pretty early on and knew that she was a special talent with such a big future ahead of her. This favoritism became a focal point of the show, and the way Miller consistently defended it only helped fan the flames of jealousy. Even so, no one dared say Ziegler wasn't extremely talented while they complained she was receiving preferential treatment. Number 6, she has an amazing work ethic. While plenty of natural talent may have had big say in Ziegler's success, there's no saying she didn't work extremely hard to get there. When she started on Dance Moms at 8 years old, it was obvious that she was still working just as hard, if not harder, than some of the older kids. In fact, some of the other moms noticed that she was working harder than their own daughters who may have been 2 or 3 times her age. While she continuously gave every class everything she had, she also took advantage of extra lessons to make sure her performances were absolutely flawless.
Maddie lives for dance. She loves it. She's all about it. Hey, did the other kids want to come? I guess not.
One prime example is in season 5 of Dance Moms. In a few episodes, Ziegler didn't place first in her age group at competitions like she usually did. In fact, in some of these episodes, she simply didn't place whatsoever. She was so used to winning, she was pretty devastated by the losses. But it didn't stop her. She worked as hard as she could before the sheer talent competition and walked away from that competition with the first place trophy. While Ziegler doesn't always take home the gold, she understands that if she can work enough and is dedicated enough to her craft, that she can still come out on top. This demonstration of tenacity not only helped make her favorite of Abby Lee Miller's, but also the star pupil of the studio. Number 5, she has loads of charisma. Dance Moms fans have watched many of the dancers grow up from the adorable little kids into gorgeous, full-grown women. They all also seem to be full of charm. Abby Lee Miller often said, even early on, that Maddie Ziegler was especially charismatic. In one interview with Lifetime, Miller spoke about the first time she saw a young Ziegler come into her studio. Maddie made an incredible first impression, Miller said, adding, "She was just this cupcake, this tiny little body and this big head, and these gorgeous big eyes, and you just wanted to eat her up." Miller loved Ziegler right from the beginning, so it's no wonder she took a quick liking to the little one. In her interview with Lifetime, she also explained that the young dancer's charm won her over pretty quickly. In fact, from their first meeting, Miller was pretty sure she'd be the star.
I'm not telling these moms, but I may just have to throw Maddie into the competition at the last minute. Maddie is going to join you guys. I want her to show you guys how it's done.
It all happened when Ziegler was brave enough to approach her directly and let her know that she wanted to take hip-hop and tap dancing lessons. For a kid so young, it's hard to imagine that she'd have the courage to speak up for herself, but that kind of attitude is also what has launched her further than other dancers. Number 4, she's always trying to better herself. While Ziegler has proven time and again that she is extremely talented, it certainly doesn't make her perfect. One reason why Miller still loves her so much on Dance Moms is that Ziegler is willing to work to make corrections when she messes up her routine. Many young kids might get frustrated and throw in the towel, but not Maddie. While much of the show focused on moms fighting battles for their young kids, Ziegler always seemed to take care of things on her own. This natural knack for self-improvement made her an easy dancer to love on the show. In one episode of season 2, Ziegler forgot the choreography to her solo dance, and she ran off the stage. Instead of breaking down and crying or leaving, she went to the stage manager and asked to restart. It was pretty unbelievable for someone so young. And the reason? Not to win the contest, but to prove to Miller she could do it. She's quoted as saying, "I want to go again." She said, begging, "Can I please go again?" She knew what she did wrong, and she was willing to try again to get it right. That kind of dedication, no doubt, went into helping Maddie Ziegler become Abby Lee Miller's favorite student. Number 3, Ziegler and her mom stayed on Miller's bad side. While the show was filled with plenty of dance mom feuds and battles, Ziegler and her mom Melissa managed to stay out of most of the fights. Sometimes, Melissa got into short disputes with the other mothers about leaving their daughters alone, but for the most part, she was pretty much aloof to the constant squabbles. Melissa also has stayed out of Miller's way and didn't bother her as much as the other moms did. This was probably a massive reason why the strict Miller enjoyed having Ziegler and her mother around more often.
She is a little star right now. She's the winner. Own it. Be proud. Rub it in their faces if you have to.
On rare occasions, the two would fight. On season 6, Melissa rushed to defend her youngest daughter Mackenzie after Miller harshly criticized her. But overall, Melissa and Miller get along. This helped Maddie maintain her favorite status with Miller. Number 2, she made amazing facial expressions. This reason's a little more funny and cute, but actually a pretty important part of these young dancers' styles and routines. Ziegler is mostly known for her huge eyes, which she uses to express all kinds of emotions while performing. Many of Ziegler's solo performances were very intense and emotional lyrical routines. She used her eyes to help sell the feelings associated with the choreography. That kind of attention to detail definitely brought her brownie points with her instructor, Abby Lee. In fact, Ziegler was asked about her signature quote-unquote Maddie face during a Lifetime interview. She had perfected the look fans have grown to love in season 2. Ziegler said in an interview that she just looked constipated while making the Maddie face. Maybe she's just being humble. Whatever her secret is, we sure know that she is a weapon when it comes to her tantalizing performances. Number 1, she always had star quality. Being that Maddie Ziegler started dancing at the ALDC so young, only 4 years old, most expected her to take some time to catch up on the technical aspects of dancing. However, Abby Lee Miller and Ziegler both have agreed that's not exactly what happened in one Lifetime interview. While Ziegler's first class was on hip-hop, it was expected she'd struggle as she had absolutely no experience with the genre. Despite all that, Miller came up to Ziegler after the first class and let her know she was the absolute best one there. Miller knew from then on that, quote-unquote, maybe I have a star here. Only a few years later, camera crews would storm her studio as they started shooting Dance Moms. This made Ziegler's star quality even more evident and made her the definite pick of Miller's favorite students.
You guys, I want her to show you guys how it's done.
While some of the reasons why Ziegler rose to fame within the Abby Lee Miller studio might seem kind of shady, there's no denying the young dancer deserves the credit she's been given. We hope you enjoyed it. This has been 10 real reasons why Maddie Ziegler was Abby's favorite on Dance Moms. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more of our content.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.